Middlesex and Sussex continued to trade blows on the penultimate day of their LV County Championship match at Lords, where David Milan was in the runs again. It was a tough start for the home batsmen, Ollie Robinson and Steve McGoffin both causing Nick Gubbins problems with deliveries that spat, which suggested that a solid batting display on this day would make Middlesex favourites going into the last one. They began the third morning on 47 without loss, 19 runs behind, and 14 more had been knocked off when Gubbins got another snorter from McGoffin, which this time he did nick behind. With the ball doing as much as it was from time to time, Sam Robson's half-century was one which showed off his skills as an opener. He'd started the day with 41 and he was raising his bat after facing 67 deliveries, from which he'd found the boundary on 7 occasions. He'd taken his side into the lead with just 1 wicket down, which would have been his team's plan at worst. He and Nick Compton now look to push Middlesex on as much as they could on what has turned out to be an excellent pitch at the home of cricket, one which has offered an ideal balance overall between bat and ball. This pair took the total to 109 for a lead of 43. When Robson was out for 77, Ashar Zaidi finding the edge with the very first ball of his spell. It was a testing delivery too. After 2 overs at the nursery end, the spinner switched to the pavilion end and fired one in to bowl Compton behind his legs for 21. Middlesex headed off for lunch on 127 for 3, effectively 61 for 3, and 10 runs later, James Franklin became McGoffin's 500th first-class victim with an edge-to-edge Joyce in the slips. So the home team now had 2 men at the crease with the lead at only 71, and one of them, John Simpson, added 6 to that with this pull off Chris Liddle. But it was the innings of Milan which really stood out again. He made 93 in the first innings of this low-scoring contest, and his sublime form when fit this season was maintained as he played some typically gorgeous shots to once again put a bit of distance between his team and Sussex. After this day, his batting average in the Championship this season is more than 100, his latest half-century being made off 100 deliveries. He struck only those 2 fours, but had again studied the spinning ball superbly. He has been promising form like this for a long time now. He'd added a crucial 78 runs with Simpson, who may have been as surprised as everyone else when Robinson decided to try some spinners and had Simpson caught by Joyce at slip for 29. Robinson began his cricketing life as an off-spinner, and it showed, as in the same over he had James Harris taken at leg slip by Chris Nash, the batsman completing a pair in this game. Once the second new ball became available, Robinson switched ends and went back to bowling pace. Not that whatever he did made any difference to Milan. He'd moved on to 80 when he lost Ollie Rayner at the other end, McGoffin with enough movement to win the LBW. At 249 for 7, Middlesex now led by 183, and Sussex would have now been dreaming of having them all out before the end of the day. Milan had other ideas though, and he found some very valuable support from Toby Rowland-Jones, a man who gets better as a batsman each time he comes out. He was there when Milan got to his second 100 of the Championship season off 172 balls with this single. He'd hit 7 fours in what was his 3rd ton against his opposition this year, having already sent their bowlers to all parts in both the One Day Cup and the T20. Some record that. He had survived a very big appeal on 93, the same score he made in the first innings here. Rowland-Jones, meanwhile, thought a decision went against him as Robinson tried some spinners again and turned one back very sharply to have Rowland-Jones LBW for 36. That was the last ball of the day, and so Middlesex went to the close on 326 for 8 for a lead of 260, with Milan still there on 118. With the pitch now taking plenty of turn, it's the home team which may now have emerged as favourites.